Miscellaneous minds, never explaining the minds. Devilish grin for my alias, aliens who respond. Peddling sin, thinking maybe when you get old you realize I'm not gonna fold or demise. I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it.
What is going on, everybody? This is the Miscellaneous Minds podcast. I'm your co-host, Boom Arigato, the cat that hands you your big three back. And to my left over here is the main man, Jesus De Niro, the man that makes the fat stacks. Together we form the dynamic duo that won't die. Deadly ideas, bro, and spicier content than your girl's OnlyFans.
What is going on, everybody? Before we get into tonight's topic, please make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit. And with that, let's get right into it. So, as a philosopher once said, motherfuck the big three, it's just big me. Listen, there was a point in time here in the boxing, the heavyweight boxing, that there was really three people that we were most talking about. We wanted to see all three of them mix it up. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and Tyson Fury. And I actually didn't even really notice this just because I get so deep in the weeds of the boxing game that it was actually my man here that pointed it out to me. There is no big three anymore. If you look at the big three, Joshua, Deontay Wilder, and Tyson Fury, they're all lost. Deontay Wilder's on the verge of retirement. He's even made mentions or alluded to it himself. Anthony Joshua just lost to Daniel Dubois. And Tyson Fury lost to Usyk. So really, the big three became the one. And that's Usyk. Now, listen, I'm not here to criticize the heavyweight division. In fact, I think more than three big heavyweights all vying for power, I think is a phenomenal thing. I think it makes it great. I think it's a great way to have more of excitement in the heavyweight division, especially because for a long time it wasn't all that exciting. So I think it's great that we now have this concept of so many different heavyweights being in the mix, and I think it's come at a perfect time. I think people like Anthony Joshua potentially having to take a new route, given that he just lost to Daniel Dubois. Tyson Fury having his rematch against Usyk. And now, again, Deontay Wilder potentially being retired. I think there's a number of paths we can all agree that they all got to take based on what they're going to be doing. So we're definitely going to have to see what happens. But yeah, man, it's interesting to think that 3 years ago, all we were talking about was these three individuals, these three heavyweights that were really just dominating everybody else, that were at the top of the pyramid, and there was no one else. And now, that's become one person, and that one person had all the belts, to be fair, maybe for like 2 months, because the IBF's always got to do something. But on top of that, it's always, again, a good thing to see the mix of these different fighters taking all the different paths. So it's interesting. Again, I just thought it was a cool little tidbit that my man here brought to my attention that, again, completely slipped my mind just because I was seeing all the exciting fights that were happening in the heavyweight division that I was happy to see. But, yeah, man, what do you think about that, my man?
Listen, man, two of them I can definitely point to where the issue started. All three of them had issues to where we got to right now. Two of which I can definitely say it was one of them never really covered them, and two of them kind of have a similar issue. I think the biggest one that I guess is the bigger tragedy, I guess, is Deontay Wilder never really fully recovering from that the Tyson Fury loss, and his work, or his body of work ever since then has just been extremely patchy, and it's just been on a downhill. Which again, it's sad because to a point, Deontay Wilder was a very, very personable, very humble boxer, and then after he ate that loss against Tyson Fury, he's basically been throwing every single excuse out of the book, even the one where he said that his Gotham Knight Batman costume, whatever he was that he wore out to the second fight, was weighing him down 40 pounds. And I'm like, my man, you could have just easily taken it off at that point. But to see his journey from where he came from to where he was to where he is right now, it's a little bit, it's I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty sad. I'm hoping that he can come back from it, but the chances of that happening are, in my opinion, kind of slim. The interesting part where it comes in is that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, I think, share a similar issue, but I think for Anthony Joshua, it's been a bad habit that's been occurring for a good couple years now. Both of which is that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua both have a bad habit of underestimating their opponents. For Tyson Fury, I think it wasn't I think it was just one big swoop of underestimating the wrong person and basically losing everything. Whereas Anthony Joshua has just been underestimating people and getting back that respect from the people, and then losing it back again just because he failed to estimate the true worth of his opponent. Again, Anthony Joshua underestimated Andy Ruiz the first time that they had their scrap around. Again, won it back, but again, that was after Andy Ruiz hardcore dropped the ball. Anthony Joshua then underestimated who was the next big one? Alexander Usyk. But again, Usyk was cruiserweight going into the heavyweight division, so I can kind of understand where he was coming from there, but still a big L regardless. And then the most recent one of which was the fight against Daniel Dubois, which again didn't respect him in the presser interviews going into the match, the roundtable discussion with their managers, and basically Anthony Joshua was looking to sun Daniel Dubois, and it turned out to be the complete opposite of what happened. Whereas for Tyson Fury, he vastly underestimated Francis Ngannou. Even though he won that match, a lot of the public perception was that Francis Ngannou looked way more better than he should have been in a high-level professional bout, and already shaking people's confidence in Tyson Fury's abilities. And now he underestimated Alexander Usyk, and even Tyson Fury is saying, like, oh, okay, it was closer than people give it credit for. It's like, yeah, but you lost the belt as a result of that. So they seem to both have a bad habit of underestimating people in high-level fights where they had every reason to have been able to conquer it, and they just didn't. They, like, for whatever reason, fell through. But I think for Anthony Joshua, it's been a slow burn. Whereas for Tyson Fury, it was definitely more of a faster burn where he basically just lost everything in one fell swoop against somebody that he should have been able to dominate, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, listen, man, I just thought it was an interesting tidbit to notice, to see in just a few short years, man, how it went from, again, these individuals just dominating everybody in the division to now it's just, again, it's the little guy, so to speak, that ended up with all the belts. It always makes you think that this is why, part of the reason why I love boxing so much and I have for so many years, is that you always think you know what's going on, and then out of nowhere, man, something hits you by surprise. Same thing could be said of the UFC. You think you know what's going to happen, and then out of nowhere something happened, man. It's always good to see that shake-up happen, not just in the heavyweight division, but in other divisions. It just happened to shake up a lot in the heavyweight division, which, could always happen, obviously, with the big fellas. It's going to be interesting to see where the heavyweight division goes. I think a lot of new players are coming into play, and I think Daniel Dubois has made a name for himself. Big Bang Zhang has stood out. We still got that Usyk and Fury rematch in December. Yeah, man, there's a lot of good things to look forward to in the heavyweight division. And we'll definitely see where it goes, man. It's going to be interesting. I just want to talk about the topic because, again, in just such a short period of time, it went from 3 to 1. And now, we're breaking up even the original 3 even more so. So it's always good to pay attention to these things, little subtleties. But, yeah, man, it's always a good watch. It's always a good watch. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you on the next one.